The thoughts, comments, actions of guests of this episode of the Tazz Night Show are just that. They have no connection to Tazz Night and the management of the Tazz Night Show. With that being said, let's proceed with this episode. What's up, ladies and gents? It's your boy Tazz Night with another episode. Today we're going to talk about when the water runs dry in relationships. Everybody know who you are now. I have to introduce you, unless you want to introduce yourself.
I'm Trey. I've been here for 3 episodes now.
This is the 3rd episode.
Yeah, this is the 3rd episode. Yeah.
I've been here for 2. It's going on the 3rd. Anyway, when you're in a relationship and you get to the point where you feel like you're not growing anymore, you feel like you're not getting attention anymore, you feel like things just aren't working for you anymore, do you sit down and talk to your significant other and try to work it out? Do you think of it to yourself as like, you know what, is it worth me doing this? And if it isn't, do you like just cut it off and walk away? Or do you make it one-sided and start, pulling away? Or
I think it's all about how much you have invested.
I mean,
like for example, if you have a house and kids and like, things invested in, then it's harder to break. But if you're like living with somebody or just dating or something, you can easily walk away. I mean, not easily, but it's easier to walk away. But that all goes back to just looking at the warning signs, because people give you warning signs and they don't want you to know that.
Yeah, that's true. I totally agree with that.
A lot of times you ignore them, they give you warning signs.
Well, when do you get to the point where you say enough is enough? I mean, it's like you could be in a relationship with someone. Say, for example, you're married to this person, or whatever. You were together for like, say, 5 years, and he's like, you know what, this is the one. You're getting married. Y'all been together, married for like 7 years. You may have 1 or 2 kids. You got a nice house. Y'all both have successful careers, but the relationship isn't successful anymore.
See, that's when you gotta go to some couples counseling or try to work. But see, if one person doesn't want to work and the other person does, it's not going to work. You have to both want it to work.
So do you think that love dies, or do you just think that you grow out of it, or?
I think some people are stages.
Stages? Some
people are just stages in your life. People that you had to deal with in order for you to learn a lesson, and you learned that lesson, it's time to move on.
So you think that in relationships, do you go into it thinking that this is something that's going to last forever? Do you think that nowadays people relationship is like, are they like hobbies now? Because it's like, it seems to me that a lot of people get into relationships and then it gets to that point where the water's starting to run dry now. And it's like, do you try to put the spark back into like doing some of the things you did before? Or is it just something that is just like, you know what, I didn't see myself really being with you all my life, but I saw me being with you because I liked you at the time. You think that that's the issue nowadays?
I think you get to a point where you can tell. It's like you get to learn a person and you get to tell whether you like me. I know I'll always say that I'm not going to be with this person that long because I can tell. I can feel it. Like it might last. It depends.
So in a situation like that, going into the relationship, do you think that that's a reason to get into it, or a reason to? Like, you know what, if I get this person, I know it's not going to last long, so why waste my time? Or do you just, is it just an adventure? Or?
It's just, to me, it's just something that, it's not something that you do, but it's something that, you give it a shot. You see where it's going to go, and you try to make the best of it. I mean, it doesn't mean that you hold back your heart or your feelings or anything like that, but you have something in your mind lets you know, like, I don't know about this person. Like, certain things are there, but certain things aren't. But see, a lot of people, what was the movie? It was called Why Did I Get Married?
1 or 2?
1.
Okay.
They were talking about 80-20. Now, a lot of people have an 80, but they'll leave their 80 for a 20. Now, and that's what a lot of people do. So a lot of times,
which just kind of goes back to the last video we did, you know, being truthful about things and stuff like that. I mean, it's like you can be superficial and go for this 20, or you can go for the 8 that's going to be there for you through thick and thin, you know. But go ahead.
But that's what it is. Like a lot of the people that I might meet might be 80s. They might be 70s. I mean, I try not to go beyond the 70 mark. I mean, sometimes you never know. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta just see. Maybe it'll get better, but you get to a point where you know it's not gonna work. And then a lot of times you, like, this is what I'm talking about, energy. Like, you putting so much energy into trying to make this relationship work that it's actually making your life worse. Because I've been there, relationships that have changed your life, made you gain weight, made you be stressed, made you just evil. You go to work snapping on people.
Or it just makes you just lazy, because it's like you put so much out there that you just don't have anything else left to do anything. So it's like things that you like to do, like me, I like writing, I like bowling. You know, in one of my relationships, I was just like, you know what, I don't feel like bowling anymore. My writing got pushed to the side. My music, what music? You know, so it's stuff like that. It's just like, well, I know me in that situation, it took me a while to come to the grips, like, you know what, this has to end. And even when it was at that point where the water was running dry, I still was trying to hold on to it, because, you know, when you put so much into it, when you love someone, when you're in love with someone, it's hard to just end it.
And then the thing about a relationship does change you. It does alter you. It does make you different. You might physically be the same, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you're different. If you really go there, if you really go all the way there, and you put your heart and soul into it, it changes you. I stopped going to the club. You just stop doing so many things that you normally do that make you who you are.
You're not yourself anymore. You're part of a unit, and what you do affects the other part. And
like Monique was saying one time, she was saying that she was dating her second husband. She was saying that they went up all night eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. She said she ain't never liked peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because he liked peanut butter and jelly. She started eating peanut butter and jelly. I mean, that's the type of things you do. You start to pick up another person's traits,
habits,
their speech pattern. I mean, you just become one. And sometimes you have to have a level of a wall. Some people think a wall is bad, but sometimes you have to have a wall to a certain. I mean,
I was gonna say it depends on what type of wall you have.
Not necessarily an emotional wall, but where you still keep yourself intact with your relationship. You know,
I agree with that.
You still keep yourself intact, like still go out, have fun with your friends, but you know when to come home. You know not to do.
Let me ask you this. Going back to what you said earlier, we were dealing with the relationships at the end, like if it's a bad relationship or things weren't working out. But if you go into a situation or you meet somebody, like, you know what, this one will pass until I find the next one, you know, do you find yourself, or do you think that in those situations, do you put a lot of yourself in it, knowing that it's not going to be like your soulmate, I guess? You know, just...
I mean, I do, because I'm a giver. So I like to, you know, I give a lot of energy. That's who I am.
Because I think right now society, it's kind of like people like being in relationships with people, but I don't think that anyone, well, I won't say anyone, I don't think that a lot of people are looking for the long-term relationship. It's kind of like, it's acceptable for relationships not to last long. And it's like, the word relationship, there's no such thing as LTR, long-term relationship. It's just, you know, good for now. You know, and, you know, you meet people and it's like, okay, you're cool, I like you, you know, let's get together. And with that mindset, as opposed to, I guess, the older days, where, you know, like the 90s, 80s, 70s, or whatever. Because, I mean, you think about your grandparents stuff, like when people in that age got together, they were together. It wasn't like a lot of, you know.
But see, the thing about them, they also did a lot of dating.
And that's what we're missing in today's society. People don't date. It's like, I meet you, you're cute, let's get in a relationship.
But you know what the thing about it is? It's hard to date nowadays, because sometimes when you ask people to go out on a date, they're like you asking for their hand in marriage. I just want to go out and have a burger and fry. I just want to go out and have a drink. I'm not trying to marry you, but they think that you're, you know, you want to take me out, you want to go out, you want to do. It's a lot of people don't realize that I just want to just go out in public with you, get to know you, see who you are as a person. But people don't want to do that. A lot of people just want to. They save that time for their friends, but they don't want to spend time with you. You know, in the dating aspect, they don't want to go out. They want to have sex maybe, or you know, do something of that nature. But they don't want to actually go on dates. It's hard to get people to go on dates now.
For me, with the people who I've been meeting and people who are trying to holler at me, it seems like today's ideal relationship is more like friends with benefits. It's not a committed, exclusive relationship. It's all about, we can be cool, we can hang out, but you know, what benefits do I have along with this? I don't really want to. I mean, it's like some people won't have a problem with going out and saying, yeah, this is my boo. But some people are like, yeah, we can go out. This is my friend. You know, this is my buddy. And you know, you're supposed to be in a relationship, but I mean, you have to pay attention to how people refer to you, or how they react to you, or what they say. I mean, you go on Facebook and you see people single. The next minute they're in a relationship. Next minute it's complicated. Next minute it's single. You know, just bouncing around. It's just like, I guess some people can get in a relationship and it ends in a week, but to me, if you got in a relationship and it ended in a week, I don't think that really was a relationship.
People just move entirely too fast, and some people have hidden agendas.
Everybody has hidden agendas.
Some people have really bad hidden. I'm like, I need to get my rent paid, and I'm going to date this person because they have a job, and they move in with me. We can stay together, and then we can have sex, and then we can. So when the water runs dry in those situations, like, okay, I gotta find the next one. When I find the next one, you out. I mean, I think when the water runs dry, you know, it's no.
So let me ask you this then. So if we're talking about these pseudo relationships, is it possible that the water runs dry? It's just a fact, because I mean, it really wasn't any water.
It wasn't any foundation.
Right.
It wasn't. I mean, like my relationships, I knew that it wasn't gonna last, but you know, sometimes you just give it a shot and see. But that's when, like you say, you just have to have self-preservation. You have to know that, you know, I'm not going to do that, you know, now, because it's no point. I changed my life, and then I end up back where I started. And it's discouraging. That's why some people are scared to get into relationships, because they're discouraged about putting themselves out there, because it's a process. You have to put yourself out there.
That's me right now.
You have to, and it's very, you know.
It's me right now. That's why a lot of people don't have time for it, because I take my time, which is kind of a funny thing to say. You know, I don't have time for you because you take your time. And it's like, that's why I meet people, I get to know them, and it never really goes past that, because I'm the type of person, I want to go out and get to know you and see where things are going to go. Because if I'm with you and I can't build anything with you, like I said in my previous video, Make Time, if I can't get you on a friendship level, if you can't even meet friendship, you're never going to make it to the relationship. And that's just me. And a lot of people, like I said, we don't know what love is, it seems like, anymore. We don't know what being real is. We don't know what friendship is, and we don't know what relationships are. So it's kind of like right now we're kind of jacked up about a lot of things. So how can you have a successful relationship if you can't even understand simple principles of what is like the components of a relationship? But in lieu of that, you guys leave your comments. If you want to do a video response, that would be great. Do that. And this basically concludes this episode of the Tazz Night Show, featuring Trey.
TNT.
Dynamite. Boom. Get some smoke. Get some smoke.
Wow.
Throw some smoke.
Bam.